Imagine you are sitting in a brightly lit office meeting room.
Okay, I am picturing it.
Your colleague, who has been working really hard for weeks, is presenting a new idea.
Right.
But there's a big problem. The idea is actually terrible.
Oh, no, that is always a tough situation.
Yeah, it really is. You can see all the mistakes. You know this project will waste time and money.
Definitely. It will cause a lot of stress for the whole team.
Exactly. But instead of speaking up, instead of pointing out the obvious problems, you know what you do.
Like, I guess. You just nod and smile.
Yes. You nod. You smile. You agree with them.
Haha, we all do that.
You swallow your actual thoughts. You put on a polite face. And you just choose the easy way out.
So true. It is a very common human habit.
But why? Why do we do this? Why do we care more about keeping a fake peace instead of just telling a helpful truth?
Well, it is an incredibly common behavior. We sit in that chair and we feel this uncomfortable knot in our stomach.
Oh, I know that feeling. Your stomach just drops.
Right, because our brain sees the reality, but our mouth just completely refuses to say the words.
Yeah, we convince ourselves we are being kind.
Exactly. We think we are being nice, but actually, we are often just running away from the problem.
And that tension, that big gap between what we think and what we actually say, is the entire focus of our deep dive today.
I am really excited about this one. It is such a daily life topic.
It really is.
Huh.
We are looking at a fascinating guide called The Art of Speaking Frankly.
Yes, and the core of this guide is a simple conversation between two people, Aman and Ria.
Right, Aman and Ria. They talk about the very tricky and often uncomfortable parts of honest communication.
And their dialogue format is so great because it feels like a real chat, just like the chats we have with our friends every day.
Exactly. They take something that sounds very positive, telling the truth, and they break down why it is actually so difficult.
It is one of the hardest things we do in our daily social lives.
It really is. So our
Right.
mission today is to understand the psychology behind this. Why do we bite our tongues?
Right. And we will also look at the very fine line between being honest and just being rude.
Because there is a big difference.
Oh, a massive difference. And finally, we will share some very practical English phrases from the guide.
Yes, a real toolkit. So you, the listener, can learn how to be totally honest without making your friends or boss angry.
Which is such an important skill to learn. But to do that, we have to start by changing how we think about being frank.
Let's do it. What is the first rule?
Well, the guide starts with a very strict rule. Aman and Ria define speaking frankly as expressing your thoughts honestly and directly.
Okay, honest and direct. Sounds simple enough.
But they immediately add a very important condition. Speaking frankly means being honest without being rude.
Without being rude. That is the key part.
Exactly. The source clearly says that true frankness never means hurting people's feelings.
That is so interesting because it completely changes how we see honesty.
Right. It destroys that very popular but kind of toxic idea of brutal honesty.
Oh, brutal honesty. We all know someone like that, right?
Oh, definitely.
The person who says, I am just a straight shooter. I just say what is in my heart.
Yeah, and then they say something incredibly mean.
Uh-huh. Exactly. They use it as an excuse.
The problem with the brutally honest person is that they focus too much on the brutal part and not enough on the honest part.
Right. They use the truth like a weapon to hurt you.
Yes. They think that just because something is a fact, they can be cruel. If you get upset, they say, well, it is the truth.
And I hate when people do that. It feels so unfair.
It is unfair, because Aman and Ria argue that true frankness is never used to attack someone.
Well, if you are hurting someone emotionally, you are not really being frank.
Exactly. You are just being aggressive and pretending to be honest.
I mean, if your only goal is to just let out your own anger, you are not communicating.
No, you are just throwing your stress onto the other person.
That makes perfect sense. So genuine frankness needs a lot of empathy. You have to understand their feelings.
Yes. You have to choose your words carefully. You have to think about your tone of voice.
Tone is so important. Saying this is wrong gently is very different from shouting it.
Right. And you also have to think about the timing. Is the person ready to hear this right now?
Like if they're already having a terrible day, maybe do not tell them their shirt looks bad.
Uh-huh. Exactly. The goal of being frank is to help and build up, not to destroy.
If they feel attacked, the communication failed, even if your words were technically true.
That is a great way to put it.
It makes me think of a simple comparison. Being frank is like a doctor's small, sharp knife. A scalpel.
Oh, I like this. A scalpel.
Yeah, a scalpel makes a cut, right? And yes, there is a little bit of pain,
Sure, nobody likes getting cut.
but the main goal of the doctor is to heal you, to fix the problem so you get better.
Right, the doctor's very careful and precise.
Exactly. But brutal honesty, that is like using a huge, heavy sledgehammer.
Oh, wow. A sledgehammer? That is destructive.
Yes, you might break the wall you wanted to break, but you also destroy the whole house.
Aha, yes. You leave a huge mess behind.
And using a hammer takes zero skill. Anyone can smash things, but using a small, precise knife takes a lot of care.
That is a brilliant way to explain it.
But let me ask you a tough question here. I want to challenge this idea a bit.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Is it really possible to be 100% honest and 100% respectful at the exact same time?
That is the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, do we always have to water down the truth? Do we have to mix it with a little bit of sugar?
Well, the guide suggests that you do not have to hide the facts, but you absolutely must package them nicely.
Package them nicely, like wrapping a gift.
Sort of. Think of it like taking bitter medicine. You do not change the medicine, but you put it in a sweet capsule so you can swallow it easily.
Ah, I see. So the respect is not about lying or changing the fact.
No, not at all. The respect is all about how you deliver the message. It is about treating the other person like a smart, valuable human being.
So how does that look in real life, like in an office?
Yeah. Well, it means you can tell your coworker that their project idea will not work. That is the honest truth.
Right. Your idea will fail. That sounds harsh.
Yes, but you do not say it like that. You validate their hard work first. You say, I see how much effort you put in, and you have some great points, but I see a few risks we need to look at.
So the facts are the same. The project has risks, but the delivery is soft and respectful.
Exactly. You separate the bad idea from the value of the person. The person is good. The idea just needs work.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So if being honest like this is so helpful, why is it so hard to do?
Oh, it is incredibly hard.
Yeah, why is our first reaction always to just tell a pleasant lie? Oh, great idea.
The guide talks about this hesitation directly. Aman and Ria say that people avoid speaking, frankly, mostly out of fear.
Fear. Like we are scared of them.
Scared of criticism, scared of rejection, or just scared of fighting. Fear is the biggest roadblock.
That is a very natural human reaction, honestly. Nobody wakes up and says, I hope I have a really awkward argument today.
Haha, no, definitely not. We naturally look for the easiest, most peaceful path.
Right. It is just biology, isn't it?
It actually is. We are social creatures. Long ago, human beings needed to stay in their group or their tribe to survive.
Yeah, if the tribe kicks you out, you are in big trouble.
Exactly. If you got rejected by your friends, you would not have food or protection. So social rejection felt like a real threat to survival.
Wow. So when I am in that office meeting and I'm afraid to say the idea is bad, my brain thinks I'm fighting for my life.
Literally, yes. The fear center in your brain starts ringing an alarm bell.
That is crazy.
It is. Your brain says if you tell them the truth, they will get angry. They will stop liking you. You will be alone.
So that fear stops us from speaking. Like a handbrake in a car.
Exactly like a handbrake. You pull it right before you open your mouth.
So we choose to just smile and tell a nice, pleasant lie. It is comfortable. Yes. The moment you say, wow, great idea, boss, all your stress goes away.
You feel relief. You survived the danger.
But Aman gives a huge warning in the guide about this. What does he say?
He points out that avoiding these difficult conversations always creates much bigger problems later on.
Because reality does not change just because you told a lie.
Exactly. If the project has mistakes, the project will still fail.
And if your friend does something annoying and you say it is fine, you will just secretly get angry at them.
Yes. You trade a tiny bit of comfort today for a massive disaster next month.
You know, this reminds me of a car. Have you ever had the check engine light come on in your car or on your scooter?
Oh, yes, that little red light on the dashboard, it gives me so much anxiety.
Right. So imagine telling a pleasant lie is like taking a piece of black tape and just putting it over that red light.
Uh-huh. I know people who have actually done that.
Me too. And why do we do it? Because the light is annoying.
Right. You put the tape on and suddenly the light is gone. You feel peaceful. You listen to music and keep driving.
You trick yourself into thinking you fixed the car.
But under the hood, the engine is completely breaking down.
Exactly. The oil is leaking. The parts are breaking. The tape stopped the annoyance, but it guarantees your car will completely die on the highway later.
And fixing a broken engine later is much, much more expensive than fixing it early.
Yes. And relationships are exactly the same.
That is a perfect comparison.
The red light is when you feel annoyed because your friend is always late for dinner.
And the black tape is when you smile and say, oh, no problem at all. I completely understand traffic is bad.
Yes. But then 6 months later, they are late again, and you just explode. You start shouting, and you end the friendship.
And your friend is so confused because they had no idea you were angry. You never told them the engine was failing.
Exactly. Which makes me think,
Mm.
is telling a pleasant lie actually very selfish?
Oh, that is a strong word. Selfish.
Well, think about it. We say we are lying to protect their feelings, but really, we are just protecting ourselves from an awkward conversation.
Wow. Yes, when you put it like that, it is self-preservation. You just want to avoid stress.
We prioritize our own comfort today instead of the health of the friendship long term.
That is a hard truth to accept, but it is true. You are not pleasing them. You are keeping them in the dark so you can relax.
So we know we have to pull the tape off the light. We know we have to speak frankly. But how?
This is the best part of the guide. Aman and Ria give us a real toolkit, real English phrases we can use.
Yes. Let's share these phrases. I think this is super helpful for our listeners who want to practice their English too.
Definitely. The guide gives very simple structures, like starting your sentence with, to be honest.
Or in my opinion.
Yes, or even, I would like to be frank with you.
Those are great starters. But what if you need to disagree with someone? Like, say they are wrong.
For disagreements, they suggest a two-part phrase. Listen to this. I respect your view, but I disagree.
I respect your view, but I disagree. That sounds very polite.
Another one is, I understand your point, but I see it differently.
I love that one. Let's look closely at why these phrases work so well.
They use something we can call a validation-first model.
Validation first.
That's
You mean
really it.
you make them feel heard before you say but.
Exactly. If you just bluntly say, you are wrong, the other person feels attacked. Their brain stops listening to you.
Yeah, they get defensive.
Yeah.
They start thinking of how to fight back.
Right. But if you start by saying, I understand your point, you send a clear signal. You are saying, I hear you. I am not attacking you.
You lower their defenses. You make them feel safe.
Yes. You calm their ego down, and then you introduce your disagreement.
It shows that honesty and kindness really can work together.
But there is a catch.
Oh,
What is the catch?
you cannot just say these phrases like a robot.
Haha, like reading from a script. Hello, boss. I respect your view, but you are wrong.
Exactly. If you use these phrases too much, people will stop trusting you. If you start every sentence with, to be honest, people will think, wait, were you lying to me yesterday?
That is true. If I ask you, do you want tea or coffee? And you say, to be honest, I want key. That is just weird. Very weird. You do not need big phrases for small things.
So save these phrases for important conversations.
Yes. When you say, I would like to be frank with you, you are giving a warning. You are telling them, okay, we are going to talk about something serious now.
It prepares them for the impact. And your tone of voice has to be genuine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you say, I understand your point, but, and you roll your eyes and sigh, the words will not work.
Yeah, you still sound like a jerk.
Haha, yes. You have to actually listen to them. You have to mean it.
Okay, so armed with these great phrases, let's talk about where we use them. Because the office is very different from sitting at home with friends.
The guide is really smart about this. It separates the workplace and personal friendships.
Let's start with the workplace. Why is frankness so important in an office or a business?
Well, at work, being frank is about operations. Ria says that clear communication prevents misunderstandings.
And Emin says that good managers actually appreciate honest feedback.
Because in an office, mistakes cost money.
Exactly. Imagine a builder sees a crack in a building's wall, but he is too scared to tell his boss.
Oh, that is dangerous.
Very dangerous. Eventually, the building falls down.
Or if someone is writing software and sees a bug, but stays quiet, the app will crash when they release it.
So at work, telling the truth prevents disasters. It keeps the business running smoothly.
Right. Good leaders want to know the uncomfortable truth on Tuesday so they do not have a huge crisis on Friday.
But then the guide switches to friendships. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Yes, the guide says that true friendship includes honest conversations, even when it is uncomfortable.
Because with friends, it is not about saving money. It is about trust.
Yes, deep trust. Think about people you just met casually. If they do something silly, you do not correct them.
No, you just smile. If an acquaintance has a terrible dating habit, you just say, oh, wow, that is crazy, and you change the subject.
You keep it light. But with your best friend.
With my best friend, I have to tell him the truth. If I constantly hide my thoughts from my best friend, we are not really close.
Exactly. The guide has a great moment where Aman asks a question. He asks, would you rather hear a pleasant lie or an uncomfortable truth?
And Ria chooses the uncomfortable truth. She says, truth helps us grow.
Which is beautiful. When a close friend sits you down and says, I am really worried about you quitting your job without a plan, they are taking a big risk.
Yes, they risk making you angry.
But they do it because they love you. They want you to grow. It is a true act of loyalty.
I love that idea. Truth helps us grow.
Yeah.
But I want to test this. Okay.
Throw a test at me.
Let's talk about emotional timing. Imagine your friend is having the worst week of their life.
Okay. Like everything is going wrong.
Yes. Their scooter broke down, they lost their phone, and they are super stressed.
Oh, poor friend.
And then they show you a painting they just made. They say, I put my heart into this. What do you think?
And the painting is terrible.
It is objectively terrible, just bad. Do you hit them with the uncomfortable truth right then? Do they really need to grow in that exact moment?
No, definitely not.
So does the pleasant lie become necessary here?
This goes back to our doctor analogy.
Right.
A surgeon does not start operating on someone who is in severe shock.
Right. First, you have to stabilize the patient. Give them water, calm them down.
Exactly. If your friend is already crying from stress, they cannot learn from your criticism. They cannot grow today. Today, they just need support.
So what do you say about the terrible painting? Do you lie and say it belongs in a museum?
No, you do not have to lie. You just change the focus. You say, I can see how much heart you put into this, and I love the colors, but you look exhausted. Let's put the painting away for tonight and go get some food.
Oh, that is so smart.
Yeah.
You focus on their effort and their feelings, not the result.
Yes. You save the uncomfortable truth for next week when they are well rested and ready to hear it.
Timing is everything. Which brings us perfectly to my favorite part of the guide.
The terrible singer scenario.
Yes, the terrible singer. We have all been there.
It is the most relatable, awkward situation ever.
So Aman and Ria talk about this. Imagine your friend just finished singing a song.
And they are just completely off key. It sounds like a dying cat.
Exactly. And then they turn to you with big hopeful eyes and ask, how was my singing?
Oh, the pressure.
You are trapped. If you say you are the next superstar, you are lying.
Right, which breaks the honesty rule.
But if you say, my ears are bleeding, please never sing again, you are being terribly rude.
Which breaks the kindness rule. So what does Aman suggest?
Aman says the perfect, frank, polite response is, let's just say you should keep practicing.
Let's just say you should keep practicing. That is brilliant.
Ria laughs too in the guide, because it really is the perfect answer. Let's analyze why it works.
Well, when they ask, how is my singing, they want a grade for the past, like an A or an F.
Right, and the real grade is an F. But saying F hurts.
So by saying you should keep practicing, you refuse to grade the past. You push the conversation into the future.
Action for the future. Practicing.
Yes, and honestly, it is true. If they were perfect, they would not need practice. So you are being truthful.
You tell the truth, but you keep it positive and supportive. It is like conversational magic.
It really is.
But wait, I have another challenge for you. What if your friend does not understand the hint?
Uh-oh. What do you mean?
What if you say, keep practicing, and they say, thank you, I will practice every day, and I am going to spend all my savings to record an album next week?
Oh, boy. That is a disaster.
Right, because keep practicing is a fun joke for the living room.
Yeah.
But if they're about to lose all their money, a joke is not enough.
That is a very valid point. Humorous redirection is for low-stakes situations where nobody gets hurt.
But when the stakes get high, you have to use the real tool.
Yes, you have to sit them down and use the validation-first model.
How would that sound?
You would say, I love your passion for music and you work so hard, but I want to be frank with you because I care about you. I do not think your voice is ready for a professional studio yet, and I do not want you to lose your money.
Oof. That is a heavy conversation. My heart is beating fast just imagining it.
It is heavy, but if you really love that friend, you take on that uncomfortable feeling to protect them from a real disaster.
You pull the tape off the check engine light.
Exactly.
And this brings us to the final and maybe the most beautiful part of the deep dive, the reward.
Yes, the ultimate reward of connection and confidence.
We talk a lot about how speaking frankly helps the other person, it helps your boss, it helps your friend. But how does it help you?
The guide says that when you express yourself truthfully, your confidence grows.
I really want to understand that. How does talking honestly make me more confident?
Think about the opposite. Every time you swallow your true thoughts, every time you fake a smile at a bad idea, you are sending a secret message to your own brain.
Oh, message.
You're telling yourself, my opinion does not matter, my feelings are not important, the comfort of the group is more important than my real self.
Wow. That is actually really sad.
It is, and if you do that every day for years, you lose your self-worth, you become like a chameleon, constantly changing colors to match the room until you forget your own true color.
The chameleon who forgets its own color. That is a powerful image.
But on the flip side, every time you speak, frankly, even if your hands are shaking, even if your heart is pounding, you send the opposite message.
You tell yourself, my thoughts have value.
Yes. You say, my perspective matters. I deserve to take up space in this room. You validate your own existence.
It is like going to the gym.
Yes, exactly like the gym.
The first time you lift weights, your muscles are weak. It hurts. You are sweating.
Because you have relied on the pleasant lie for so long, your conflict muscles are very weak.
Right. But if you practice starting with small things, like saying, actually, I prefer pizza tonight instead of noodles, you build that muscle.
You start with light weights, and gradually it gets easier.
You feel less fear, and eventually handling a big conflict at work just feels natural and easy.
And the best part is people notice. People have a radar for real, authentic people.
Yeah, they do. When someone is truly honest, you just feel safe around them.
Exactly. Because you never have to guess what they are thinking. You do not have to find hidden meanings in their words. They are a safe harbor.
A safe harbor of clarity. I think everyone wants to be that kind of person
Yeah.
and have those kind of friends.
Definitely. We all crave that real connection.
Let's do a quick recap of everything we learned from Aman and Ria today.
Sounds good. We covered a lot of ground.
First, we learned that true frankness is never cruel. It is a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. It blends honesty with deep respect.
Second, we learned about the fear. It is natural biology to want to avoid conflict, but choosing the pleasant lie is like putting tape over a check engine light. It creates bigger problems later.
Third, the toolkit. Use phrases like, I understand your point, but I see it differently, to validate people before you disagree with them.
Fourth, context matters. At work, frankness prevents expensive mistakes. With friends, it builds deep trust.
And finally, speaking up builds your own self-confidence. It reminds you that your voice matters.
It is a complete shift in how you live your life.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you, our listener, with one big question to think about today.
Yes. Think about your own life right now. Is there a specific relationship, maybe a friend, a coworker, or a family member, where things are secretly getting worse?
Are things getting worse simply because you keep choosing the temporary comfort of a pleasant lie?
If the warning light is flashing red on your dashboard right now, what would change if you decided to finally pull the tape off?
What would happen if you decided to be frank tomorrow?
It is definitely a question worth answering.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep practicing your English, keep practicing your honesty, and we will talk to you next time.